Hello there everybody, so and welcome back to Tokyo Babel. Let us continue where we left off. Oh god, that was it. Okay, that was extremely freaking quick. I didn't see that coming. I inhaled a deep breath. Verbal negotiations would yield no results.
私が召喚されたんだ。君は破壊、私は防衛。互いの立ち位置は明瞭だ。故に、君の希望を。
I lifted my right hand.
打ち砕く。
As the nanomachines within my bloodstream whirred to life, I felt my physical prowess skyrocket. The illusionary world was in a state of flux. As such, I endeavored to prioritize avoiding increased interference with the real world. The same applied to making use of my budding skills at magical perception, doubly so against an angel. As my breathing evened out, I signaled to Lilith by whispering to myself, letting her know that combat had been initiated.
原告をもって一切の非戦闘行為による解決を放棄、戦闘行動へ移行。撃滅による状況好転を目標とする。
Like some kind of robot or something?
ガンホー、ウオードック、腹渡を食いちぎれ。なめんなー!
Good lord! I lunged at her. Upon closing in our distance, my right fist crashed into her. No physical response. Her contours rippled, vanishing into thin air like a mirage. I turned to my left, having sensed a visual disturbance in the air, only to be propelled backwards by a kick. She had rendered my vision impaired. I proceeded to launch a series of kicks in the direction of the freshly materialized Gothel standing right in front of me. No reaction. It seemed she did indeed disrupt my sense of distance, much like she had proclaimed. I felt a sharp pain in my right foot the moment it touched the ground. I stepped into a spike that I could have sworn wasn't there a moment before. The erosion of one's location awareness. Regardless of what I was actually seeing, I was unable to properly discern the location of objects in the environment. I'm mostly just lost at this point. It must have been one of Gothel's abilities. As far as I recalled, she once inflicted blindness upon the Amorites, causing them to massacre one another. Let us assume that a truly skilled combatant, a master among masters, had lost his eyesight. Such a person would still be able to discern the opponent's location by sensing his presence, detecting the sounds he made, and so on. However, I still had my sight. In fact, my vision was being flooded with plenty of information. The fact that what I saw looked vivid and clear, unlike an illusion, was certainly not helping matters. As such, I elected to stop relying on my eyesight. I had no use for it here. Gothel's next strike came from the 7 o'clock direction. I caught her attack with my left arm while keeping my gaze fixed on her illusion. Whoa! Holy shit! Instant roid attack. In an action that lasted no longer than a split second, I smashed my swollen right fist into Gothel's abdomen, finally yielding a reaction from her. Gothel's arm, the one I had taken hold of earlier, was torn clean off as my strike sent her flying to the far end of the hallway. Holy shit! However, she vanished from view the moment I initiated pursuit. As I was about to halt my advance near the end of the hallway, I found myself pathetically crashing into the wall. I clutched the back of my head, muttering curses beneath my breath. The now one-armed Gothel flashed a broad grin. Gothel picked her right arm up, quickly reattaching it. Even in her world of illusions, such an action saved her a considerable amount of time compared to having to recreate a lost limb from scratch.
さっきは油断した。もう怪しげな魔術は使わせないから。
Gothel lunged forward with the speed and ferocity of a windstorm, her sharpened nails like the talons of a falcon homing in on its prey. Shortly after I backed away from her strike into apparent safety, she followed up with another attack aiming for my abdomen, one I could not foresee. I processed the information. This time I could see the attack aimed at my abdomen, which would lead to the logical conclusion that... I sensed a faint distortion in the air before Gothel appeared behind me, preparing for a chokehold. I ducked out of the way, delivering a roundhouse kick to her face.
対応したと言ったはずだ。
Grabbing the invisible Gothel's face, I kicked myself into the air using a nearby wall, then slammed her into the ground in one swift motion. In the next moment, one of my fingers that held onto her face broke with a low crack. The process continued in various spots along my entire left arm, almost like a chain reaction of broken bones.
ロマンチックよね。骨が砕ける音。
Not really, kind of gives a sense of really bad feeling in my stomach, honestly. Not particularly. I rose to my feet, forcing my fist into a ball, then rotated my wrist to complete the mending procedure. Gothel stared at me round-eyed.
待って。なんでそんな魔術も魔法もなしにいきなり回復してんのよ。
そんな術も手段も方法も山ほどあるじゃないか。魔術でも魔法でも道術でも法術でも、あるいはそれと真逆に一致科学という力で。
If I could not restore a broken arm, I would have no place on the battlefield. She appeared reluctant to accept it. After all, this was her realm, a territory under her absolute control, a place that stood as the manifestation of all her hopes and dreams. Hers was an eternal slumber. She drowned herself in a dream most sweet, hoping never to wake. In other words, the path to defeating Gothel was simple. If her dream encroached upon reality from all angles, its tyranny had to be met in kind of with destructive force.
せっかくここまで作り上げて、ここまで記録してきた幻影世界なのに、壊れたら承知しない。
That sword looks awesome. Just gonna point that out. Gothel brandished a one-handed sword. The thick blade, covered partially in cloth, ended in a peculiar hook-like shape. Its fiendish steel seemed somewhat out of place in the hands of an angel. It had to be that sword.
ペッカーティの剣か。
The Sword of the Seven Deadly Sins? Whoa, that looks even cool. Oh my god, that sword looks so fucking cool! Long ago, a certain poet journeyed to the Hill of Purgatory, where he came upon the angel guarding its stone rock gates. The angel lifted his sword and engraved the letter P 7 times on his forehead. The letter signified the man's sins. As he climbed each level of Purgatory, his sins would be absolved and the letters would fade one by one. The 7 deadly sins were as followed: gluttony, sloth, wrath, envy, pride, lust, and greed. A blade diabolic in its holiness and divine in its wickedness.
そう、あらゆる罪人を受け入れ、追放し、弾劾する剣。この剣、貴様も永劫に近い時をよりよく過ごせ。
It's steel and no eternal. Wait. The very same sword Gothel was now wielding. Okay.
剣の持ち主、君じゃないはずだ。
So it's not really hers, obviously, I guess.
違わない。天使が使わないなら、私が流用したところで何の問題もない。
Gothel moved in to attack, and though I made an attempt to dodge her incoming slash, she seemed to have boosted her own physical prowess by tapping into the vast pool of magical energies housed within the sword. My vision had been rendered a disorganized mess of information. Gothel advanced swiftly and silently, her steel biting into my flesh as I stood, unable to evade her strike. A violent splash of blood spurted from my body as the sword engraved a sin upon it. As long as the sin remained unpurified, the wound would continue to perpetually ooze blood. Gothel howled with laughter as droplets of blood trickled down from the edge of her steel.
人間よ、この剣の力を持って罪を悔い改めよ。
断る。
Okay. Gothel appeared to have noticed how I closed up a wound that, by all accounts, should have been fatal. She stared at me in complete disbelief.
嘘よ。そんなの信じない。信じない。どうして人間ごときがこの剣に耐えられるのよ。
I think it's because he's not really a mere human.
どんな聖人にも生まれたての赤子にすら罪を刻むことのできるこの剣にどうして耐えられるの？
I fell silent, losing all vestiges of humanity I still had left. I wondered if she had noticed.
人間なんて神に祈り天使を崇め悪魔にすがるただそれだけの存在でしょうに。
随分と人間をバカにするものだな。君はその人間に信仰されていただろうに。
Gothel narrowed her eyes at my claim.
私は天使なんかじゃない。
そうか。なら君は何だと言うんだ。どう
Sorry. She remained silent. Her identity as an angel and that of something else must have clashed within Gethel's mind. At the moment, she was effectively neither. And in the end, her half-hearted inability to choose either left her a broken, ravaged mess. She finally began to realize that herself. Madness consumed her mind. Knowledge of the truth drove her to crippling despair. And so her tears were shed, corpses piled upon corpses in her insatiable bloodlust. A fit of blind rage, nothing more. Damn, what a scream. Okay. Her madness escalated, her terror erupted. Gethel's blade crashed down, and as I raised both arms in an attempt to block it, yet her strike boasted such staggering ferocity that it sent me flying out the window. Gothel spread her wings and took flight to pursue me as I attempted to keep my distance in midair. We engaged each other in an otherworldly dogfight, incessantly alternating our battlefields between interior and exterior, air and ground, crashing through a dozen windows in the process. Whoa! As Gothel held her steel aloft, the very earth trembled beneath our feet, splitting open to reveal a monstrous creature the size of a mountain. The beast had a reddish-brown carapace, crimson eyes, and jagged shark-like teeth. A layer of mist like haze coiled about its terrible shape. And my God, is it fugly. It's got teeth when it... Oh my God, it's got teeth near its freaking throat. Esophagus, there we go. I changed my course mid-air as the creature's colossal jaw closed at the exact same space I occupied mere seconds ago. The two girls watched over our unfolding battle from their improvised gallery. It took one swing at my arm. Hino Kagetsuchi? To make the beast go up in flames, it howled and bellowed as the fires consumed its massive frame, turning it to ashes within seconds. The flames even reached Gothel, scorching her wings. Okay, what are we gonna summon? Ew. That thing's freaking ugly! A thick, gooey mass of liquid materialized in the air, burning both the ceiling and the walls, its squirming appendages latched onto. Oh, it's even worse. I immediately leapt out the window, only to have the liquid gold slither after me in pursuit like a blob. What I needed the most right now was cool air. Lowering the temperature in my right arm to its absolute minimum, I created a cloud. I flinched as a spear of pure gold grazed the skin near my shoulders. The liquid gold changed its shape, seemingly in an attempt to impale me. Could it have been under Gethel's command? Still, I evaded the attack. I made the cloud release a considerable amount of cool rainwater at a distance close enough that I could feel the very heat of the molten gold on my skin. The liquid gold hissed and sizzled as it solidified, allowing me to use it as a foothold to close the distance between myself and Gothel. Gothel readied her sword. I sent her flying with another blow before she could finish the incantation and summon the creature. Gothel staggered to her feet while wiping the blood staining her lips, her expression saturated with a vicious blend of frenzy and grief. Gothel attempted another frenzied swing in my direction, her voice now a desperate howl, yet no matter how much power her petty sword could command, its steel had no effect on me. I caught the blow with one hand. I thrust my free arm in front of her face, transforming the cells of my hand into an electrical generator. A terrible discharge of electric current shot forward. Now Taka Mikazuchi? The resulting discharge struck her body as a bolt of fierce lightning. Gothel collapsed onto the floor with an audible thud, almost like she had just been shot by a high-caliber cannon round. Moments later, I heard a low, splintering crack. I shot a glance at my surroundings, discovering a thin crevice on the wall near Gothel, its surface littered by dozens of vein-like cracks, resembling a sheet of broken glass. The sheer amount of damage Gothel had suffered weakened the dividing line between reality and her illusionary world. Deciding to use this spot as a starting point, I casually thrust a hand into the weakening fissure. I turned towards Gothel, completely ignoring her desperate attempt at pleading. How so? Okay, literally, he asked same question. My arm began to emit a green-tinted light that transformed into a series of numerical figures, specifying the coordinates of this microcosm.
Razielの力で現実とのリンクが完了した。これより削除が開始される。
And with that, the process began, resembling the work of a gargantuan vacuum cleaner, sucking up and disposing of all things that once constituted this world. Naturally, we were no exception either. As I found my consciousness being dragged back into reality in the blink of an eye, I caught a brief glimpse of the world nestled in the crevice between the real world and the illusionary world, a vision of my past. What I once was. Human in nature, yet denied human treatment, a being transcending mankind. I found no point in dwelling upon it. My primary concern was to return to reality, destroy Gothel, and safely extract Kugutsu Sormi. That was the most I could do. So, I decided to start with a scream. Fair enough. Lilith covered her ears, grimacing. I honestly could not care less at that moment. The scenery stretching before me was far of more importance. Lilith flashed a smile that made her look like a cat toying with a mouse, for lack of a better expression.
だいや地方出身って可能性もあるか。
いいえ、残念ながらここに住んでいた気がしますよ。見た覚えがある建物がいくつもいくつも存在する。でもだからこそわからない。
I yelled at the top of my lungs.
一体東京に何があったっていうのよ。
さてさて何があったのやら。私だって知りたいくらいだもの。まああなたより深い場所まで知っているのは確かよ。
An ominous smile crept onto her face.
でもあなたの意見も聞きたいかしら。
I genuinely wondered if she was trying to confuse me. Either way, I blurted out the first explanation I could think of.
第三次世界大戦が起きて人類が滅亡する。した
はいはい、なんだってなんだって。それではかすっただけね。
じゃあもうわかんない。
諦めるの早くない？
I'm not
当
surprised.
たり前でしょ。こんな常識からド外れた状況、一般人の私には荷が重すぎるわよ。
I don't know, my first thought would be freaking apocalypse or something.
一般ね。まあいっか。じゃあちょっとだけ説明してあげる。
Lilith spread her arms wide, then slapped her hands together with an audible clap.
あなたたち人間の世界は滅亡が確定しました。
That's a bit heavy for an introduction.
天使と悪魔も状況的に滅亡間近です。
天使と悪魔？
そこで私たちは生き残った人間に望みを託すことにしました。今や打ち捨てられた世界である煉獄を使い、疑似的な人間世界を築き上げました。
Purgatory? Wait, wasn't that the place where sins were purified? I could recall something along those lines.
そう。ここは天国でも地獄でも地上でもない天国へと至る道のり。その半端な場所に存在する狭間の世界。今は煉獄ではなく東京バベル。
Oh. Roll credits.
そう呼ばれているわ。
東京バベル。
なんでそんなことになったかとか私の正体とかはおいおい話すとしてセツナたちの後を追いましょう。
Lilith took firm hold of my hand. I imagined she did it so I wouldn't get separated from her, but no, she actually kicked herself off the ground and took to the air.
ああ大丈夫大丈夫。
大丈夫って何が？
Looking over her shoulder, Lilith flashed a positively mischievous smile.
下に人間はいないから下着が見える心配はないわ。
誰もそんなこと心配してないわよ。私が心配しているのは墜落死だけ。
At least she's got her priorities straight.
大丈夫大丈夫。根拠はないけどなんとかなるわ。根拠はないんだけど。
根拠がないなら大丈夫じゃない。
お、いたいた。
いたいたって何が？うわっ。
Gothel, my former sister, had wounds all over her. Had wounds all over. Her clothes having been reduced to a frayed, tattered mess, the numerous burn marks pocketing the cloth were no doubt caused by that bolt of lightning that struck her earlier. I don't know, she looks fine, I guess. I was beyond trying to make sense of the situation. This is all too much for me.
となんでもありね、刹那は。さてと、ゲーテル。
Okay, that angle, thank you. As we landed on the ground, Lilith let go of my hand and motioned for me to stay back. She approached the girl called Gothel. The angel attempted to stagger to her feet while staring daggers at
無
Lilith.
理よゲテル。あなたは死ぬわ。ただの落ちた天使として全く無造作に死に果てる。
Lilith considered Gothel with a sinister smile, her gaze cold as ice.
天使とて人間を殺戮したくなるのであれば人間が天使を殺戮し返したとしても仕方がない。あとさらに言うならあなたの持ってるこの剣
Thank you, please. Just, yeah, thanks for that angling. Lilith bent down to pick up the fiendish blade resting at her
これ
feet.
あいつのでしょ。盗みはいけないわね、盗みは。あなた彼にも天使なんだから。
Gothel returned Lilith's mockery with an intense glare, her words devolving to a cry.
やだ、死ぬものか、死ぬものか、死ねば私が私でなくなってしまう。
仕方ないことよ。
リリス、お願いリリス、何でもするから命だけは助けて。
Lilith shook her
それ
head.
は無理よ。あなたはあらゆる規律を破った。懲罰ではなく自分の優越のために絶望を送って人を殺し、天使の武器を盗み幻影の世界に端的した。だってそれはなぜ壊れたの？死ぬ前にせめて私たちの役に立ちなさい。精神を汚染されたあなたは何を見たの？
Gothel turned pale as chalk, her lips trembling, dreading to part.
そう言わないじゃなく言えないのね。
Gethel's gaze shot from left to right, her body still trembling violently.
第三者からの圧力だとすると誰になるのかしら。
A faint laugh spilled forth from Gethel's lips as she, ignoring Lilith's question, began muttering to herself.
世界はもう進むべきじゃない。戻ることができず進むしかないのなら立ち止まるしかない。
立ち止まってそこで永遠を楽しむの？なんというか大敗的な考えね。悪魔である私が言うのもなんだけど。
だって進む先は滅びしかない。天国の門を開いてはならない。バベルを登って階段を見つけてはならないのよ。
滅びね。でも遅かれ早かれ滅びは来るわ。
だから私は幻影で楽しんでいたのに。畜生畜生畜生。
The two fell silent. Lilith turned towards Setsuna, momentarily leaving me as the only person observing Gothel. Gothel looked deep into my eyes, smiling. The near palpable wickedness of her grin made me retreat a step or two.
空見お姉ちゃん、いいものをあげる。
Lilith was trying to tell me something. Perhaps she wanted me to get out of the way. Was it just me, or did she appear visibly agitated? Setsuna, who had been on standby in the air, came soaring to my side immediately. Yet even with the gift of foresight, he still would have arrived late. Gethel's last-ditch effort at exacting revenge had been fulfilled simply by leveling her gaze on mine. And moments later, the world itself distorted before me. Jamming, jamming, jamming. Through an act of hacking, cracking, and violent forced intrusion, my eyes ceased to be mine. I screamed at the top of my lungs, collapsing to my knees as I covered my eyes. I felt my senses ravaged by something transcending mere pain. My brain was in complete disarray, simply trying to process the sheer volume of information flooding its deepest recesses. Program, status, properties, system information, file information, basic component information. A violent shockwave of information shook my senses like the swarm of a myriad of insects buzzing right next to my ear. Completely disregarding the fact that others could have been watching, I messily vomited on the ground.
大丈夫か？
Setsuna placed a hand on my back. I appreciated the concern, but yeah, I wasn't okay at all.
ゲテル、あなたの目を移植するなんて最後の最後にひどいことをしてくれたじゃない。
Gothel responded to Lilith's words with a brittle laugh, her tone seemingly pregnant with both hatred and grief.
くぐつ空見、人間よ、見なさい見なさい見なさい。私が見たもの、私が感じたものをそのままくれてやるわ。大丈夫よ。最初はなかなか見えないでしょうけど、すぐに慣れて見えるから。
ゲテル。
Lilith's warm, compassionate tone interrupted her. Gothel went on, her voice a miserable rattle.
いいわ、殺して。もう何も見えない。これで。
遺言は？
守り陣に謝っておいてちょうだい。私は少し彼らに対して悪辣すぎる。出会えたらね。二つ目、私の死体を海へ捨ててちょうだい。
Oddly specific.
OK、 捨ててあげる。
A second later, I heard a sickening crunch. Despite still having my eyes covered, I could easily tell what had just transpired. Gothel died. Someone killed her. Nothing more, nothing less.
目を開けられるかい？
やってみる。
Opening my eyes, a series of numerical equations, as well as strings of English, Japanese, and a number of other languages I couldn't identify flashed into my vision. However, the phenomenon lasted only a moment before subsiding. My eyesight was seemingly back to normal.
一体私に何が起きたの？目を移植されたのよ。ゲテルの能力の一端ね。彼女は隠された事柄を司る天使。したがってその目はあらゆる存在の真実へとハッキングすることができるようになっているわ。
Huh. So her eyes have hacking capabilities. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around that.
あれ？それっていいことじゃない？人間の脳では耐えることのできない真実もいやおうなしに知ってしまうかもしれないけど。宣言撤回します。もうなんとかして。
Lilith merely shrugged with a playful smile, which kind of pissed me off, honestly.
しかし、記憶を消してから戻してあげようかとも思ったけど、そういうわけにはいかなくなったわね。返してくれないなら、何もかも知ってる限りのことを洗いざらい話してくれた方がいい。
リリス、私はゲテルを運ぶことにする。
ああ、待って、それなら一緒に彼女も連れて行くわ。この世界の果てを見せておいた方がいい。
Okie dokie. Setsuna directed his gaze at me. His expression was impossible to read. What was going on in that head of his?
了解。
He picked up Gethel's body with a sigh as Lilith took me by the arm and up into the air.
銀座だ。
Ginza. The cityscape was in shambles, its buildings worn down beyond repair.
銀座ね。これで無事この階層が解放されたわ。まったく一番最初のクエストでこれよ。先が思いやられるったらありゃしない。
Starter quest?
ほら、何か聞きたそうね。
Yeah, kinda. I shook my head. Oh.
とりあえず些細なことはあまり考えないようにした。後でゆっくり説明してくれるんじゃないかなと期待してる。そうすればまあ分かることは分かるでしょ。察しが良くて助かるわ。というかあなた割とたくましいわね。鍛えられたの。
The last couple of hours or so seemed to have toughened me up quite a bit, truth be told.
着いたわよ。
This looked like the same place. We landed in the middle of a large road with no particularly distinguishing features. Or maybe it's just that building that looks the same. I mean, aside from it being in complete ruins.
ちょっと待って、パージの許可をもらうから。
Purge? What? What the fuck? Purge? Lilith whipped out a rotary phone in the middle of the road and began noisily dialing on the ancient thing. What the hell?
東京バベルの外壁を一部外すらしい。彼女を海に捨てるために。
あ、本当に落とすんだ。物理的に。
Setsuna nodded, his expression as serious as I'd ever seen it.
物理的に。最後の願いなら叶えてあげなくては。
はいはい。じゃあ待ってるからよろしく。
Lilith slammed the receiver down as I watched on in a daze, loitering around about the surrounding area. Moments passed and I found myself awakened to the oddness of the scenery around me. My newly acquired eyes easily discerned and saw through its deception.
リリス、これひょっとして背景がループしてる？
ああ、よくわかったわね。ここから先は何もないわ。言ってしまえば昔のゲームと同じよ。リアルでどこまでも突き抜けられそうだけど。
Oh! Huh. Okay. Lilith extended a hand, smiling. She really did appear to be having fun. Huh.
絶対にここから先にたどり着くことはない。絶対にね。
へえ、リアルにしか見えんわこれ。
I abruptly stuck out my hand, then glanced over my shoulder, half expecting to see it in the far distance behind me. No such luck, though. Yeah, I knew I shouldn't have had my hopes up.
こらこら、遊ばない。あ、来た来た。
Who? Oh, he's a feather. As Lilith cast her gaze skyward, so did I, spotting an odd-looking creature. A bird, perhaps? Flying our way into the
鳥
horizon.
か飛行機か。はてさてその正体は。
Don't you freaking say Superman. Oh,
到着した。
Raziel. Howdy. I found myself staring in awe at the young girl as she approached us. Locks glistening in alluring gold, skin white as freshly fallen snow, she felt like a being out of this world, her beauty transcendent. In her right hand, she was holding a... what were those called again? It looked like an awful lot like one of those thingamajigs I spotted downtown. The something pad... Oh, good lord. A Klingle? A portable mini-computer, basically. Her most striking feature was her pair of glimmering white wings, almost like an angel's. Actually, scratch the almost part, this looked like the real deal. She surveyed us with a frigid gaze. She was certainly not a foe, but friend? Of that I wasn't quite certain.
じゃん。絶対領域持ち美少女ラジエルでした。
Wait, what?
私は美少女だったりするのか？
Raziel posed her question to Lilith, her tone reflecting no particular interest.
まあ美少女と言っていいんじゃないかと。
Lilith had it spot on, though. Raziel was strikingly beautiful. She looked at us, head cocked to the side. And that's when I noticed that Raziel wasn't indifferent or frigid. She was simply spacing out.
ほほう、美少女だったのか。まあそれはそれとして、パージの許可をもらってきたよ。
Okay.
ういうい、そんじゃパージよろしく。
うん。セツナ以外、少し離れて。
Why only Setsuna? Oh, duh, because he's got Gothel. What the hell was I thinking? We all stepped back with only Setsuna, still holding Gethel's body remaining at Raziel's side.
よいしょ。
What? What the? I should probably stop questioning things. Raziel grabbed hold of the very air around her, then pulled, and just like that, the entire thing, road included, came off with a creak. My thoughts exactly. She gave the impossible to describe object a light touch. Guided by Raziel, it gently landed on the ground like a fallen leaf carried by the breeze. Through the hole left by the removed object, we could see the open skies. Setsuna lightly kicked himself into the air, leaping over to the outside of the world.
ちょっと近づくわよ。しっかり捕まりなさい。
We followed Setsuna inside the opening as anxiety made my heart race like a locomotive. And then I saw it. I laid eyes upon the outside of the world. That silly little phrase was all I could muster in my sheer amazement. I knew the ocean would be vast. I really did. But as I beheld the massive body of water stretching out endlessly before my eyes, I couldn't even spot as much as a tiny speck of an island in the distance. I felt completely and thoroughly overwhelmed. Limitless skies and a boundless ocean. Those were the only things left in this world. The sky took on an eerie orange hue resembling the hours of dusk, and although the ocean below reflected the light, its waves rolled about with a certain sinister blackness to them. I casually looked sideways. This time I was left speechless, forgetting even to breathe. How to phrase it? It was almost like a photo of the Tokyo Tower, red and white with a design many would consider to be a touch out of style. Yet standing in close proximity to its towering enormity would instill a fierce impression, leaving the spectator overwhelmed and in awe. A colossal structure far beyond what my senses could possibly conceive. True, I was standing on the outside. At the very same time, though, I could very much perceive myself still being inside the structure.
これが東京バベルよ。
Yup.
覚えたでしょ？
Yup. Well, duh. I certainly did. In fact, I considered dispatching a search team just to locate my jaw on the floor.
さてラジエル、ちょっとこの子お願い。
And with that, Lilith handed me over to Raziel, who grabbed me by the nape like she was handling a kitty cat. Honestly, it was kind of scary. Lilith and Setsuna stood on the outer wall of Tokyo Babel, their bodies slanting diagonally, mostly because the wall itself was slanting as well.
落とす。
As Setsuna signaled to Lilith in a dispassionate tone, the latter stepped closer to Gethel's body, caressing her hair. Hints of pity and compassion swam across her features in turbulent waves.
さよなら、とこしえの別れ、苦労の離別を。さようなら。
さようなら。君も何か一言あるだろう。
Setsuna turned to face me, his words dispelling the fear gnawing at my heart. I looked down at the lifeless body of my former sister, her features peaceful in a slumber like death. I had no memories of my past any longer. They were all gone without a trace, leaving nothing but vague concepts in their wake.
しいな。そのさようならっていうか、全然さようならって気分でもないけど、でもやっぱりその。
The tears came without warning, much to my own surprise. After all, this was the very same girl who plotted to murder me. And if Setsuna hadn't come to my aid when he did, Gothel would have carried through with that plan without a shred of doubt. Yet her death still made me feel a bit sad, a sense of loss prickling my heart like a tiny needle. Setsuna let go of Gothel without uttering another word. Her body plummeted through the air in slow motion, heading slowly but surely towards the waves below. The law of inertia, on the other hand, propelled us ever onward. It seemed like the whole of Tokyo Babel was on its way somewhere. The soaring purgatory drifted farther and farther from Gethel's falling body, until I had completely lost sight of her.
これにて夜の魔女リリスの名において第一階層銀座解放を宣言する。第一階層銀座の解放を確認。
Oh, good job. Okay. Raziel casually slipped an oddly colloquial phrase into her report. Colloquial. There we go.
無理にフランクにしなくていい。
You didn't. You don't see that word all that often.
ところで一つ聞きたい。
Raziel's gaze drifted into my direction. I immediately straightened myself in reflex.
ああ、セツナはともかくとして、こっちは初対面だったか。
Hello. Raziel nodded, her fingers dancing on the surface of her tablet to check up on something. She then made me press a finger against its screen, never once letting her gaze leaving my face. Raziel innocently cocked her head to the side, producing the sort of expression that would kindle a fire most peculiar and indescribable in one's chest. I could call it cuteness, or a certain natural charm. Well, something along those lines either way.
記録にない？
Nope, because I'm the main character, apparently.
大方、ゲテルが勝手に引っ張ってきたんでしょ。
Oh, never mind.
大方わかりませんが、まあそういうことかもしれません。
Either way, I agreed with her assessment.
お名前、私の名前は。
I held up. My name was Kugutsu Sorami. Was it really, though? I mean, surely I had a proper name in life to call my own. But the way I was now, I had nothing left. Nothing at all.
くぐつすらみで一つよろしく。くぐつそらみ。かっこ仮とかつけておいてくれると嬉しいかも。 将来本名を思い出した時のためにかっこ仮と。
いいのソラミ。ラジエルはよほどのことがない限り訂正を許可しないわよ。
You kidding me?
まあいいです。普段は空見と呼んでくれれば。了解。空見かっこ仮。かっこ仮は削ってください。
空見かっこ笑い。
Really? Really?
いじめか。いじめだろ。
Leave the shitty puns to me.
ラジエル、彼女は空見と呼んでほしいそうだ。
了解。じゃあくぐつ空見、どうか今後ともよろしく。そしてお気の毒様。お気の毒ですか。
Well, I guess I did go through hell. A total slaughterhouse. Just thinking about it was making me feel depressed.
それじゃ学園に戻るとしますか。そこで一休みして第二階層について考えましょう。
Campus?
学園。
そう、東京バベルの人間たちが存在する最後の希望の学園。私たちはパンドラと呼称しているわ。
Does Pandora sell box lunches?
パンドラってギリシャ神話の？
ね、あらゆる最悪と希望を丸ごと抱えた場所としてね。皮肉といえば皮肉かしら。
Lila's tone softened to a whisper.
行くなら時計台が一番近い。
オッケー、じゃあ行きましょう。
I was half expecting her to actually just say okie dokie. Well, now we're all flying. Where the hell's Setsuna? Lila took a firm hold of my hand, and a moment later we were up among the clouds, yet I had yet to fully shake off the fear, but I managed to pull myself together just enough to admire the scenery below. I couldn't help but wonder, where did the illusion end and reality
今
begin?
のうちによく見といた方がいいわ。これで見納めになるでしょうからね。
銀座が？
ええ、この風景は何もかも見納めね。
Okay. The drifting scenery below us was a mere shadow of its former self, yet it stood as palpable proof that people once lived here. I wasn't sad enough to be moved to tears, but the scenery still filled me with a hollow melancholy. I let the feeling sink in as I held onto Lila's hand, the wind brushing against my cheeks as we soared onwards. Where would this road lead me? Would something await me at its conclusion? I had no idea. Not anymore. My thoughts were occupied with one thing only.
ねえ、セツナ。
The wind grew in intensity, practically howling in my ears. Still, I raised my voice just enough to overpower
言
it.
うの忘れてた。
何かある？
助けてくれてありがとう。
Okay. Setsuna appeared somewhat surprised.
ちょっと待って空見。私には何かないの？
Sorry.
ああ、ありがとう。
感謝する気がこれっぽっちもね。
嘘。ありがとう。ありがとうってば。
よしよし、いい子だ。愚かなる人間よ。
Sorry.
リリス、口調だけ厳かにしたところで今さら何がどうなるものでもないと思うの。
さあね、気分の問題よ、気分の。
As conversation kept us busy, our trip to the clock tower felt a lot shorter than it actually was. Well, as long as we don't meet a scissor man, I think we'll be fine.
こんな場所が学園なの？
いいえ、学園は合ってないようなものだから。ただまあ、出入り口を確定できる場所はある程度限定されているのよね。せつな、私は空見抱えてるからお願い。
第一階層のこの時計台から学園に入る場合、地震を1、噴震を9、秒震を3に合わせて。
Oddly specific. Setsuna nodded, then proceeded to follow Raziel's instructions in setting the clock tower's huge towery hands in the required positions. And just like that, the clock's massive faceplate opened with the heavy, emphatic sound of a railway coupler sliding free.
入るわよ。
Okay. Lilith leapt into the clock tower without bothering to wait for my response. It was pitch black inside. I tilted my head, but couldn't even make out the entrance I had just come through. All I could see was darkness in every direction. Then, all of a sudden, I sensed Lilith descending, felt the air pressure shift, but that was all. I began to question my own vision, unable to tell if I had my eyes opened or closed. That is, until I came upon a bright, luminescent spot. Was this how babies felt in their moments before birth? Or were they too busy shivering in fear at the thought of emerging into the cold, harsh reality to mind anything else? I don't know, I don't think babies can think by that point. The world appeared to have come to a halt in temporary stasis, though it might have all been in slow motion. Eventually, I felt Lilith abruptly decelerating. What the? Seconds later, I found myself in a confined, somewhat old-fashioned room covered with linoleum flooring. In most schools, this would be like the night guard's office, or the caretaker's room. Either way, the room gave off that kind of atmosphere. Or, rather, that was precisely what it looked like.
お風呂もあるし、冷蔵庫には食べ物もあるわ。お腹が空いたんなら何でも食べていいわよ。カップラーメン食べたけりゃポットにお湯があるから。
でも勝手に使っていいの？
いいのよ。ここは私たちが使っているんだから。
私は外にいるから今のうちに着替えておいてくれ。
Okay. Setsuna left the room without waiting for an answer. I, had nothing to change into, though.
ほい、これがスラミの着替え。
The piece of clothing she handed over was something I'd been intimately familiar with, strikingly yellow in hue with black lines and a zipper. In short, I was staring at a tracksuit.
私、青色がいい。
Okay.
はいはい、小豆色は譲らないわよ。
They seemed fixated on their preferred colors. Well, I would have been fine with anything, really. Still, if I had to choose from these three, I would have easily picked the yellow one. All I needed was a katana for the picture-perfect image. Is that a Kill Bill reference? I slipped out of my school uniform and into the tracksuit. Having just done that, I was already feeling lighter.
ラジエル、洗濯お願い。
Raziel took Lilith's clothes with a nod, then directed her gaze at me.
制服。
あ、いいんですか？
Raziel responded with another nod, prompting me to hand over my uniform.
じゃあ、また。
Raziel then left the room. In her stead, Setsuna entered. Lilith filled a pair of teacups she had fished out from the cupboard with tea, then offered them to me and Setsuna.
さ、飲んで飲んで。
どうもありがとうございます。
I blew on the tea a bit, then promptly took a few sips, allowing the warmth of the hot, bittersweet liquid to sluggishly travel down my throat and into my stomach. I exhaled a sigh of relief, finally having realized just how uneasy I had been up until this point.
落ち着いて。
はい。
Lilith sat down with teacup in hand, making herself comfortable on a cushion while flashing a cheeky smile.
いいよしよし。それじゃあ、語ろうか。話そうか。喋ろうか。伝えようか。この世界のあらましと終わりと半ばを生きる者たちについて。
Okay. And with that, Lilith, the Witch of the Night, set about telling a tale that would open my eyes to the truth of this world. An otherworldly account to rival the Arabian Nights. A nightmarish legend in the vein of the Revelations. A tale about Tokyo Babel, the soaring fortress that feared no god or man. She spoke of their own kind, angels and demons writhing under the eye of God, and of mortal men fated to bear his terrible trials. She went on and on, weaving the story into form. Damn! Holy shit, what an opening! Okay! I saw a lot of faces I recognized that were shown right at the very beginning. What the hell? I was left alone in the midst of the raging flames, sitting and waiting with no direction, nor any concept of what I should be doing. What was I waiting for? The end of the world? Or the beginning of something new? The former was pointless, as the world had long since ended. Its gears would never start again, either, rendering the latter similarly futile. I knew that all too well. The torrent of flames raining down from the heavens scorched all to cinders. Among them were nuclear missiles launched by the world's major superpowers, metallic chunks of planes destroyed through terrorist attacks, and the considerable amount of toxic waste that showered the Earth as a result. Biological armaments, then weapons of mass destruction, seeds sown by human hatred and mortal pride. Flora and fauna perished alike. All that man had once built crumbled to ashes around him, melting into an oblivion wrought of fire and death. And there I was, gazing at it all. Okay, we need to get a better voice for this guy. The bleeding corpses of the elderly, the charred remains of the young, a lump of rotted flesh that once was a newborn babe, scattered entrails belonging to its mother, a nightmarish scene birthed by my own deeds and intentions. I calmly observed as all around me succumbed to decay. The world itself was on its way to complete ruination. I shed no tears, felt no grief. I had nothing to lament, no pain to embrace. All that remained within me was a realization of transience, of the ephemerality of life. No matter how much time passed, the violent flames refused to die down. There was no one left to put them out.
生きてる。そこで座っているあなた。そう、そこのあなたよ。申し訳ないのだけど、質問があるの。
Two young girls appeared before me. One of them dark as midnight, the other whiter than snow, a demon and an angel.
あなたは
私のことはどうでもいいでしょ。大事な質問だからよく聞いてよく答えなさい。あなた、これから死ぬ気？
それしかすることはない。
別に死ななくても問題ない。
ないが、やるべきことはもう残っていない。
The girl whispered in my ear.
それならね、私が違う世界でやるべきことを与えたらあなたはどうする？
違う世界。
そう、こことは全く異なる新しい世界。
その目的は？
世界の救済よ。どう？話に乗ってみる？
どうもこうもない。それが人道的なものであるという条件付きで、私は全力を尽くすだけだ。
利用され使い潰されるとしても？
それは構わない。私は私自身の権利など必要とはしていないから。
The girl's soft laughter echoed faintly in the air. Her smile appeared ominous, yet not without a certain warmth to it. Or it may have been the exact opposite of that.
そう。じゃあ私と一緒に来なさい。頑張って使い潰してあげるわ。あ、ところであなたお名前は？ちゃんとある？
What thoughts could have been racing through my mind as I heard her say that? I couldn't quite pinpoint the feeling. Not then, and not now. I may have been happy to the point of naivety. It could have been a blend of relief and regret, knowing that I would survive where others died. Or perhaps I was simply beyond caring.
名前は刹那天道刹那
私は夜の魔女リリス。それからこちらが神の秘密ラジエル。よろしくお願いする。さあ、この手を握りなさい。地獄より恐ろしく、天国より心地よい世界。天と地の狭間にある東京バベルへ招待するわ。
東京バベルそれは
問答無用よ。
And so I was saved from a world on the brink of annihilation, all for a single purpose: to reclaim the layers of Tokyo Babel from their respective masters, to open the gates of heaven. The world went black without warning. I felt myself on the verge of drowning, water rapidly filling my lungs. The cold spread throughout my body, its chill inviting fear into my heart.
ご心配なく。あなたはあなたでしょ?
The voice echoed in my head like a divine revelation.
私は
あなたの人生は他ならぬあなたのもの。私たちには私たちなりの事情があって、あなたに少しだけ協力していただきましたが、すぐに忘れ去られる時間の狭間の出来事です。あなたには何の関係もありません。
君は
She did not
そ
respond.
れではさようなら。
Her words faded, along with the vision of my past. I had started my life anew at Pandora.
ねえ、私にはそれがわからないのよ。いや、わからないって言い出したら何もかもわからないんだけどさ。
You're not alone. All this kind of went over my head. Anyway, unfortunately, that's where I'm actually going to have to end it. I know it's definitely not as long as the previous episode, which was close to 2 hours, but this is a matter of time management once again. I'm gonna check the configuration real quick. What do we got? I only checked up the text speed, as I'm sure you noticed. Font settings? Holy shit, I can change the fonts? Oh, that's pretty cool. Ah, it doesn't have my favorite font, Rockwell. Let's see, sound settings. Oh, what the? Okay, maybe I shouldn't check that because it has like a bunch of characters, but I'll just ignore that. I'll just ignore that because I don't want to see all the characters that I haven't even met yet. When in background, continue running. Special effects. Okay. Odd. Cut voice after mouse button click. I mean, I got it on speed, so I don't think so. Huh. Well, I automatically know that definitely don't want to check sound settings because I saw a bunch of faces that I did not recognize, and we're just going to try to avoid that if at all possible. Quite a bit happened. Interestingly enough. I'm trying to think of something witty to say, but I've pretty much got nothing. All I can say is that I'm actually kind of enjoying this. But like I said, time management, that's pretty much all I can get done today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and sorry this seems a bit abrupt, but I will see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna play with these fonts. Wait. Is the most important one here? Damn it. Neither of them are here. Where's my sands and papyrus, goddammit?